They are against it. Biden doesn't even know what it is. If you ask Biden, sir, are you for or against crypto? What's that? What the? Are you for or against crypto? Are you for or against crypto? What's that? What the? Get me off the stage. He's saying, get me off the stage. No, he has no idea. But look, Gensler is very much against it. The Democrats are very much against it. And I say this, a lot of people are very much for it, probably a lot of the people in this group. And I'm fine with it. I want to make sure it's good and solid and everything else, but I'm good with it. And if you like crypto in any form, and it comes in a lot of different forms, if you're in favor of crypto, you better vote for Trump. They are against.
If you're in favor of crypto, you better vote for Trump. The most bullish thing I heard today. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm documenting my journey on the evolution of money. Smash that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. Finally, our taxpayer dollars hard at work. This is a very significant clip because Telcoin Mike Flood is starting to make a big name for himself. Shout out to Crypto Wendy O on this clip.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in support of this bipartisan resolution of disapproval. This resolution is an essential effort to protect consumers and foster innovation in digital assets markets. It's also critical to stop the Securities and Exchange Commission's regulatory power grabs and efforts to circumvent the Administrative Procedures Act. I want to thank my friend, Congressman Flood of Nebraska, a leader on financial innovation and digital asset policy.
I said that for quite some time. Senator Mike Flood, now Congressman Mike Flood, is also behind Nebraska Innovation Act co-authored by Telcoin, and now Representative Patrick McHenry is actually backing Mike Flood on this bill to stop Gary Gensler's power grab.
For introducing this bipartisan resolution. Staff Accounting Bulletin, or SAB 121, is one of the most glaring examples of the current Securities and Exchange Commission's reign of overreach. Through SAB 121, the Commission is trying to dictate how financial institutions and firms safeguard America's assets, in particular here, digital assets, under the guise of so-called staff guidance. Let me explain why this is deeply concerning. Because they call it a staff guidance, the Securities and Exchange Commission could avoid public comment and the rulemaking process governed by the Administrative Procedures Act, or APA. Now, this is whereby the public gets to give an opinion back or expertise back to the agency so they can improve the rulemaking by listening to the public. This is a long-standing process here in the United States. And not only did the Securities and Exchange Commission bypass Congress and the Comptroller General, but the Commission did not even consult with other financial regulators, prudential regulators responsible for overseeing banks prior to issuing SAB 121. Thanks to the work of the House Financial Services Committee and my friend, Senator Lummis, the GAO rightly deemed SAB 121 a rule for purposes of the Congressional Review Act, providing Congress with the opportunity to right the wrong of agency action. SAB 121 requires financial institutions and firms that are safeguarding their customers' digital assets to hold those assets on their balance sheet. That means banks would be required to take on significant capital, liquidity, and other costs under the existing prudential regulatory framework. This essentially makes it cost prohibitive for financial institutions to custody their customers' digital assets. Now, this is a massive deviation for how highly regulated banks are traditionally required to treat assets they hold on behalf of their customers. Now, this is the point that everyone can understand. This is a change that harms consumers and makes them less protected. It's not a change for the better, clearly. It limits the options for consumers and increases concentration risk to the financial system. And perhaps even worse, it could leave America's assets vulnerable in the event of a bank failure, just as we saw with Silicon Valley Bank last year. If you want Americans' assets to be protected, they should be held in custody, not on a bank balance sheet. And if you want Americans to be able to engage with digital assets safely and securely, banks, which are some of the most highly regulated entities in our country and in the world are probably the best places for them to be kept. Unfortunately, SAB 121 makes this nearly impossible. We hear a lot from our Democrat colleagues about consumer protection. If that concern is genuine, and I think it is, they should support Congressman Flood's bipartisan resolution that's before us today. Let me give you one example of why this guidance is problematic. Okay. The Securities Exchange Commission recently approved 11 Bitcoin ETFs, which allow everyday investors to gain exposure to this new technology. It's a decade old, but it's relatively new. Of those 11, 0, and I repeat 0, use banks as their primary custodian. Instead, all that risk is now concentrated in a few entities. So let's do a quick recap. The Securities Exchange Commission, through Staff Accounting Bulletin 121, upended traditional custody practices. So just like you hold a stock with a stockbroker, it's held in custody. That means that entity, if it goes bankrupt, your asset is still protected. It is held in custody and safeguarded as if it's in a safe. And so we want digital assets to be treated the same way that we treat other other assets and protected. So this Staff Accounting Bulletin upends traditional custody practices for banking institutions, and it made a joke of the rulemaking process and ignored other regulatory agencies and market participants that are impacted by this bulletin. That's a bad process and even worse policy outcomes. So if you want consumers to be protected in digital assets markets, vote yes on this resolution. If you want to return bank custody practices to the tried, tested, and successful approach that we've had in this country for centuries, then vote yes. If you support financial innovation, you should vote yes as well. And finally, if you want to send a message that rogue regulators cannot circumvent Congress and our well-established rulemaking process, vote yes.
Vote yes. Guys, that's pretty significant there that Patrick Mahan, representative, is talking about stocks are held in custody. Now, they're saying that digital currency and assets should get the same treatment as a stock. If a bank was to go belly up, your crypto would still be safe. Instead of being held on the books of the bank, they should be held in custody. I agree with that. But it's significant how Mike Flood is being mentioned. I said keep an eye on Mike Flood. He's going to make a big name for himself in Congress, and he has.
What's specific to your stablecoin that can be applicable to global audiences?
Yeah, so I would say two use case categories that we're most excited about. Mm-hmm. First of all, we plan to leverage the Ripple stablecoin alongside XRP in cross-border payments in our existing real-world cross-border payment product alongside XRP, so we're able to scale that globally significantly going forward and provide certain optionality. And then separately, as we're seeing more real-world assets, TradFi companies wanting to engage with us and other projects around like bringing real-world assets on the XRP ledger, it's important to have a settlement asset for these, like tokenized money market funds or equities and other financial products. Mm-hmm. And the US dollar stablecoin is obviously a key piece in terms of, helping to enable, economic activity to emerge.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So the stablecoin is USD backed.
That's pretty interesting. The new Ripple stablecoin will be for cross-border payments to provide choice between XRP or stablecoin and for tokenization and to have settlement. That is pretty interesting there. Shout out to Crypto Eddie. Good find there. Also gotta say good morning, Crypto Pioneers, new asset class. If you notice this morning, some of our hidden gems are on fire. If I go back one right here, this is going to be Velo, one of our latest calls. It's up 15% on the daily. It's at 0.025. That's pretty interesting. That's 2,500 per 100K now, up from the 800 per 100K. It's also on the yearly, it's up 771% on Velo. Super bullish on Velo. If you've seen the last live stream, also Stronghold token, one of our 100K challenges, is on fire also. On the daily, it's up 14%, 0.009, which is now 900 per 100K. When I issued a challenge on Stronghold SHX, it was 200K per 100. Now it's at $900 per 100K. Guys, SHX will be a very big deal, and it's still really, really cheap, 0.009, under a cent. Keep an eye on that for sure. Shout out to Crypto Tales. The legend himself is live from the Bahamas. I will link this in the description. It's a must-see video. Thought I would play right there. Tales is live from the Bahamas. If you guys haven't seen the Bahamas, I would want to check that video out. And of course, you heard what Trump said about cryptocurrency. If you're bullish on crypto, vote for Trump.
They are against it. The Biden doesn't even know what it is. If you ask Biden.
Trump is comical. Guys, I'm going to get this different type of video up today. Smash that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about the quick content. We also still go live at 1. Don't forget to subscribe. Smash the notification bell. This is CKJ Crypto News. I hope all is having an amazing Thursday. Much love. Mahalo.